Hey, 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 it's Natasha Nurse, and I'm really, really excited to be speaking with the one and only Marsha Guerrier of Women on the Rise. And this woman is a sister on fire that I know personally, but I wanted to make sure that she could share her story and her amazing work with everyone. So, Marsha, how are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you, Natasha, for having me on Sisters on Fire. I'm so excited to be with you today.
Yeah. As you
you know,
sing,
I,
I love it.
I like to sing everything.
Yes, 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 Beyonce, go ahead. So, first and
Not quite.
foremost, first and foremost, why don't you share, your story as to how you became the woman you are today, what type of business you do, and the services you offer, so that everyone has context.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Marsha, and I'm the founder of Women on the Rise and Why. We started off as a company hosting events for women small business owners just to bring people together, celebrate women entrepreneurs that were small and just needed a platform to share their stories, get collaborations to network with each other. And that evolved into my formal coaching business as a life balance and business coach.
Mm-hmm.
I do some consulting for some things here and there as well in my practice. Well, I say practice like I'm a lawyer, but no, in my company.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically help small business owners find balance, help them kind of boost and build out their business, and really strive in this man's playground of entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. So now, how did you know you wanted to get into this industry? What motivated you to be the conduit for women entrepreneurs and really working with women entrepreneurs who are women of color?
Well, it goes back. I have a legacy. My grandparents, as the stories are told, they came to America. We're from Haiti. My parents and my grandparents are from Haiti. And in Haiti, they were all entrepreneurs. They were
Mm.
all small business owners. And I guess it was always in my blood, but we came here and we were, just living the good old American life, going to work, working for corporations, and I still work. Full disclosure, I'm a full-time employee
Mhm.
in the software tech industry, and I still love it. I'm an employee and I'm an employer. And I
Mhm.
just always, in my corporate field, I always found that I gravitated to work for small companies, millionaire small
Mhm.
companies. I gravitated to mentoring anyone that I saw that was behind me while also staying close to the women that were, ahead of me and making sure that I was aligning myself with the right people so that I could be promoted. And I wanted to teach other women to do the same thing. And
Mm.
after years, I started thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm sitting around, I'm making the rich richer. Why can't I use these same skills to make my community richer?
Mhm.
And I had so many friends that had small businesses, somebody who was always knitting or someone who was always doing hair, someone who was selling makeup. And I wanted to celebrate us
Mhm.
small business owners. I started many businesses back in the day doing resumes and helping people build their um, resumes and give them interviewing skills and really coach them. So I've been doing this for so long, I didn't know I was doing it. I didn't know there was a
Mhm.
name for it. I didn't know there was an industry for it. So 5 years ago, a light bulb went off that I need to focus on building myself,
Mm.
make better every day.
I love it. Absolutely. And you're so humble, you do so much. So what's happening later this year that everyone needs to know about?
Oh my God. It is our it is our fifth annual Woman on the Rise Forum and Expo. What started it all for me in actually incorporating a business of my own. Like I said, I've been doing it forever, but I incorporated, and here we are going into our 5th year, and we are turning our one-day conference into a 2-day extravaganza for women small business owners.
Phenomenal. And what should women entrepreneurs who happen to be women of color, what should they be expecting at this event of wonderful extravaganza, I think is what you said, right?
Yes. So we are bringing you resources to help you build your business, to give you the confidence you need to move forward in your business, give you the education. We're bringing together some phenomenal women, some celebrities, and some internet celebrities. We are bringing you women who have done it, women who are killing it, women, sisters that are on fire today. We're bringing you a lot of resources, and little secret, we're bringing you financial resources. I can't give anything away, but last year was our first small business pitch contest where we awarded 3 women small business grants. We're bringing it again, and it might be a little better this year. So I want you guys to look forward. October 19th through the 20th in New York City, we will be hosting our 5th annual Women on the Rise Forum and Expo.
Yes, I definitely needed you to share that because I am super excited to be working with you on that and to have women entrepreneurs know that they can get the resources, they can get the knowledge, and they can learn from women who have done it, who are killing it, who can help them kill it and really make their business what they want it to be. So yes, that is amazing. And I absolutely can't wait. So as we move forward with that, I guess my first question would be, how has being a woman affected your career, right? In counter to our male counterparts, and they don't necessarily have the same challenges that we have, how has your womanhood helped you, hurt you, everything in between?
One thing I won't say that it helped me. I don't know how it helped, except I don't use my feminine wiles in a way to persuade for higher salaries. But I do know, especially in my field, I do know that, yes, I don't get paid the same as male counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know something else. In my most recent gig or job, I do believe I walked in making what I deserved. But what I noticed when I got there, I did the negotiations. I got the salary I deserved, and it was probably still less than my male counterpart, that if somebody was walking in at the same time as me with the same experience. But when they got me in, I have to share a little known fact, a little something about me. It takes forever to get continued raises. So I do know it's because I'm a woman. It's because now they felt like, it was probably premeditated. Okay, give her what she wants, and then we just won't give her anything else for the next 7 years. Well,
Gotcha.
I do know that I stood my ground when I walked in, when I interviewed. The art of negotiation is very real. I did the negotiations, and I succeeded in that. But they won at the end because it took them so long to recognize me financially and to give me those merit raises. And they call them merit raises, right? So the reviews would be stunning, but it wouldn't come with a merit raise. And then I would get comments like, but you make so much money. No, I don't. I've been making the same money. My cost of commuting has gone up, cost of living has gone up, and why wouldn't you think that I would appreciate money the same way men do, right?
Gotcha.
So the financial aspects, I do feel that I have suffered in that way, where this movement that we're facing today in our country is so right on time, and I'm just happy to be a part of the movement to help other women move forward.
I know it's great that you talked about that because I remember I was watching The View recently, actually, and they were talking about how women, maybe women should be sharing what we make in our industry so that we can kind of keep that accountability with each other and be like, oh, girl, you got that. Well, I got that. And so the next person, the next lady knows to ask for X, right? But the thing is, some people are for that, some people are against that. What do you think are some of the solutions going forward as this is the year for women? What do we need to do so that we can not only negotiate what we're worth now, but like you're saying, 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road, we're still not at a position that that we're not being held back because of being a woman, that our salary started off great and just continues to rise appropriately.
Right. It transparency, full
Mm,
transparency, which you will never get in anybody's corporation.
mhm,
That even in a firm that's a publicly traded company, there is still no transparency into what people actually make. I in recent times, I went in and said, hey, I demand more money. And the response was, well, you make so much more money than other people. We need to get people
mhm,
up, and we have to balance the scale of the team's salary. And what they didn't know is that my female colleague had shared with me what she made, and it wasn't
mm,
more. And it wasn't much more. And I brought that on the table. I said, I do know what other people make here, and it's not much more. And they're junior to my senior, and I
mhm,
think, and I don't want to bring up race, but it is a race factor because
mhm,
I'm African American. The person is not. That is so junior, like the second job out of college, and it's
mm,
like me with my 20 years experience in this field is making basically the same amount of money as me, and it's
mm.
transparency and calling them out when it's wrong. And I finally did get my raise because of the transparency. Had I not known and had I not spoken up for myself, had she not shared with me what she made, I wouldn't have leverage to make that conversation, right?
Mm, gotcha. Okay. So I like that. So then really we as women owe it to ourselves to speak with each other and it's okay to share that information and to share that because I think at the end of the day, if it helps the next woman, if it helps us further our roles and positions in these companies, then it's definitely worth it. And which actually, since you touched on it, then you talked about financing or financial discrepancies as a woman versus a man, but what about then, yeah, like being a person of color? Have you found issues, challenges outside of the rates and pays and stuff like that? Are there other things that you've dealt with as a person of color in your career?
I can't really say that I truly have because of the industry that I work in. It
Mm-hmm.
is a pretty reasonable, high paying industry,
Okay.
and I think I'm in a good bracket for me, and I have the experience on paper. I have the experience in spoken words. I can back it up. And once I'm in the position, I'm able to fulfill the duties, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
say, but what I do know, being an African American, being a female, what happens is that you do work harder. It's we have to prove ourselves in a different way. We do work a lot harder in order to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
um, that is the thing that I think that is, and it's not usually because they make us. I think it's something that we are in, that's instilled in us. It's
Mm-hmm.
something we learn probably from home to work hard, to be
Mm-hmm.
a team player, to chip in. This ride is never for free. Things that we learn at home, in our families, and so we bring that sisterhood, that team spirit. We bring that into the office with us, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we may sit back and go, "Well, this is not right." But it's
Mm-hmm.
for you to recognize that it it may not be right there, but there's a situation later on where it can, it will be right eventually.
What about perception? I had found that while working for other people that, there is always a perception that when a person of color is, giving a demand, and maybe it's in a stern or kind of very efficient manner, that, quickly that becomes, she's angry or she's dismissive or she has an attitude. Have you felt certain perceptions and biases that how women of color are viewed? Has that ever played a role in your career, or no?
120%.
Okay.
And the worst part about it is when someone falsifies that perception on you, because they know when it's a dog eat dog world in corporate America. So women are often clamoring at each other for jobs, right, and for promotion and to be noticed. And when a woman knows that everyone will perceive you to be the angry Black person, and they put that upon you, that is the most frustrating. I've had situations where I've been lied on, blatantly lied on, because it was an easy story for them to tell. As the African American, they rest in bitch face. That comes from us. That comes from us, because we don't smile all the time. Do we have to? But they term that, they created that term, but I know it came from us, because when you're asking me a question and I think it's a dumb question, maybe I'm staring at you in a way that have you concerned. So, but yes, to answer your question, yes, I've dealt with that a lot in my career, and I'm going to tell you what I did to combat that and to change that. So I worked for a big Fortune 500 company, and that was the culture. The culture was eat or be eaten. It was nasty. It was who could be the meanest to each other, and that's usually who would win. So finally, I left that company because it just that is not my spirit. That is not my personality. Although I could tussle with the best of them, but that just made me unhappy. So I left, and I promised myself to never be that unhappy again. So I turned my mindset. I shifted my thought process, and I started working for this company that I'm still with now. And they think I'm the ditziest person on earth. I'm so bubbly. I'm so cheerful. I'm so positive. They think I'm strange because I do not give them that African American women stereotype. Even when they give me pause to do that, because they do, even when they try to provoke that type of response from me, I have made it a pact for myself to never give them that. So you control yourself. You control your response. You control the way you interact. You can't control other people, but you need to walk in and you need to develop that mindset. And I did a lot of work before I started with this company to shift my mindset. Before I even left the last company, I shifted my personality and my mindset while I was there. I did a lot of soul searching, meditation, and prayer to shift the person that they made me become. And they all noticed it. And you want to know something? It changed everyone else's behavior as well. It was like a domino effect, and things got better, morale got better, and then I left. They begged me to stay, and I couldn't because I knew they were a source of pain for me. And in this new company, I am very happy to say that I changed their viewpoint on what they perceived an African American female to be, that angry Black bitch. I never gave them that till this day, and they made me plenty angry. But till this day, I've never given that side of myself, or it's not really a side of myself, but I never came out in that way to let them win over me.
Yeah. Well, it's unfair because I think it's human to be angry. It's human to be frustrated. It's human to be sarcastic. It's not that those traits are not attached to one race over the other. And I think that I love what you're saying, and that, we have the ability to give people the information that they can run with it, right? And so if you choose to fall into the trap and be angry, even though you know what's happening, then, can you get mad, right? If someone then uses it against you, because no one can make you act anyway. Only yourself can do that. So it is unfortunate that sometimes it feels like we have to curtail ourselves in a way that others won't. But at the end of the day, it's your narrative, right? So you have to control it, and no one guaranteed fair life, which is sadly, I think, what
Right.
our population deals with, right? Like,
Well, what
mhm.
I was able to do though, because I do stress my anger. I do share my feelings, good, bad, or ugly. I do. What I've learned is how you communicate, and not so much what you're saying. Because trust me, no, you can't get over on me. You can't, I won't let you run all over me either. It's not that I'm saying that at all, but it's how I respond. Trust me, they get a backlash. I work in technology, so developers are always thinking that they could do whatever they want, and then I have to kind of stop them. But instead of saying it the mean way, the way I say it makes them want to work with me. So they say you get more honey with bees. What do they say? Yeah, you
Yeah. Mhm.
you get more honey with bees. So there is just a way you talk to people, and that's very important in business communication and teaching women. And it was something that I felt I had to do in a lot of my coaching when I do talk to people that are in careers instead of people that are entrepreneurs. I talk to them about that mindset, being prepared to get the negative responses, being prepared enough so that when you do respond, is not in a way that's out that you're lashing out, or that you sound or feel you give that person the impression that you are unapproachable, or not flexible. And so there's just a way you can better work with people and speak.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So now, being that, yeah, you've had such a extensive career outside of your business, what I guess has been the most meaningful thing that you've learned as an entrepreneur, as someone in the IT field? Like, what advice do you have for people with similar narratives to you, or just trying to figure it out, and figuring out if a certain directions or what they want to do? Like, what has been the most meaningful thing that you've learned?
Don't dim your light for other people.
Mm.
That is so important when you are trying to get promoted. Oh, but someone else is trying really hard to. Okay, so you won't speak up as much because your girlfriend at lunch told you she wants the gig too. Don't dim your light for other people.
Hmm.
When you're in business and there are people around you that they're competitors, it's okay. It's healthy. Don't muffle your voice because you think someone else is louder than you. Let your voice be heard. Don't dim your light because
Beautiful.
other.
Beautiful. Okay. So now I would say it's a good point to talk about, why are we speaking? So Sisters on Fire is a production that was put on by my mother-in-law, who's also named Marsha, but spelled differently. And, she is very much a woman on fire. She is a very accomplished person. She's been an editor at Essen. She's a professor at Nassau Community College. She's spoken and teached at various different schools in the city and school in New York State system. She's always been dedicated to and making sure that women know that they can have a voice, because that's what she did. She uses her voice and her messaging in her writing, and she gets it out. And so the play actually originated with the title "The Diary of a Mad Black Feminist," and has since kind of evolved to Sisters on Fire. And we wanted to keep this conversation going online and in social media, because we want to celebrate women like yourselves who are, just on fire. They are just doing what they need to do in their community, in their business, and they're unapologetic about it. So I would say, first, how would you define a sister on fire? And also, who have been sisters on fire in your life that have really made the difference for you?
Wow. So a sister on fire. And when I saw you guys coming out with the play, I was like, yes, this is on fire. Can I be one too?
Absolutely.
Then you got to think about it, and you have to kind of, your back straightens up, and then you're like, I'm already a sister on fire. Yes, I am one. And you kind of cheer yourself on, right? For me, Sisters on Fire means and represents a woman who is confident in who she is, no matter what it is. Stay-at-home mom, a career professional, any type of day labor. I don't care what you do it with confidence, do it with humility, and people that are unapologetic, right? And just happy to be in a space where they get to serve other people and are doing it well. Like your mother-in-law, Marsha, I think she's phenomenal. There have been so many sisters on fire in my lifetime. It's one of the reasons why I knew I was good for leadership roles, mentoring roles, coaching, because I had so many great coaches and mentors coming up, especially when it came to entrepreneurship. Immediately coming into the business world, I recall being in high school. I was in a co-op program. That was my first job in high school, and there were women there. We were in a little, clerical office pool, but there was always someone that wanted to show me and teach me something more, because they knew in me that I was meant for more than just a file clerk. So at every position I went to, there was a strong sister on fire there that was taking me and carrying me up, teaching me things that they would probably not teach other people, that they did not see a spark in. And so I always wanted to make sure I was that same person. These people are not even in my life right now, but I had Margaret Beal, who was, she hired me after being out of work, being in college, trying to get back into corporate America. She did it. She hired me right after my interview, like literally right there on the spot. She's like, I want you. I'm like, oh, you're so cute. Thank you. And she was just great the whole time I worked for her, Margaret Beal.
Okay.
And then my mom, she's a sister on fire for me, because I watched her take herself all the way to her master's degree while I was growing up. She hustled, took care of us, left us with grandma. We were raised by a grandma back then anyway. But we were, my dad was there, but, my mom was still like backbone of it all. And I watched her work her full-time job, go to school, earn 2 degrees. Coming from Haiti, it's not something that you naturally think back then, probably. It's something that's attainable, but it was. And she went all the way up to her master's, so she was always an inspiration and a sister on fire for me. And then I have my spiritual mother, my spiritual godmother, Maureen Smith, who is, till this very day, always so supportive, always cheering me on. And I've got a host of friends, my aunts, my cousins that support me and really elevate anything that is going on in my life. They're there to hold my back. They're there to cheer me on. I can't say enough about this young lady that I met, I think 3 years ago, when I was hosting my expo. Her name is Natasha Nurse. Hello.
I appreciate it.
Can we talk about it? She does. I love her. I love Natasha.
Thank you. Yes, and I remember I saw your expo and I said, I love this, and I just reached out, right? And and if had I not, like, right, where would we have been? I think it's
Yeah.
important to be fearless. And if you like what someone is doing, tell them, send them an email, DM them. We have to connect. I think that, one of the dangers of our digital age is that people feel like they can't connect with each other. And it's like, all it takes is an email, all it takes is a phone call, but you've got to connect with people. And yeah, I mean, I'm amazed at everything that you're doing. And, thankfully, all of those women that you just mentioned did what they needed to do so that you could be here and that you could, be so magnetic and so able to have a positive effect in our community for women, for the business world. So yay.
Yay! It has been an amazing journey in this business. The Women on the Rise, the collaboration I've made, the networking, the collaborations, the women that show up for me for the Forum and Expo, the women I have coming this year. I've built a team. 5 years, 5th year anniversary. Before now, I would say I was the team. I use the word team all the time in everything I said, but I was really the team. And this year, I have a live team, Natasha being one of them. It is the best thing I could have done for myself. The theme of this year's conference is Together We Rise, and I couldn't be more passionate about that statement. Together we rise. You can't do this thing by yourself. We're not meant to do it by ourselves. In the villages back in the way days, villages, the women were together beating on those clothes, washing at the creek. No one raised children by themselves. They tell stories of, in Haiti, of, people feeding each other's children, watching over each other's children. Even here in New York, when I was raised in Brooklyn, it was like my whole community. Aren't you so-and-so grandbaby? You better get upstairs. I was always in trouble. They were always watching. It took the village. It took the community, and we have lost that. And we have to regain that back in our society. We have to start trusting each other again and start working together.
Absolutely. I love it. So with that, how can people get in touch with you if they want to work with you, if they want to connect with you? What is the best way for them to reach out to you?
Through our website, you can find us at www.womenontheriseny.com. You can subscribe to our website. You'll hear things from us, whatever's going on. Follow us on Facebook. Our community is pretty much most of our social media handles. Facebook and Instagram is at Women on the Rise NY. You can join our Facebook group. We are Women on the Rise. Is where we share with our audience. And on Twitter, we are WOTRNY.
Beautiful. Okay. And do you have any other updates or projects or things you want to share with people just so that they can, be on the lookout for things?
Be on the lookout. If you are an aspiring author, if you have written a book and you perhaps haven't had the courage to release the book on your own, we're putting together our second anthology. Last year we released Life Balance for Women on the Rise. We're coming up and we're creating a second book, and we would love to have people join us in our book project for 2018.
Perfect. Okay. And they should just reach out to you on your website as well, right?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you, Marsha. You are on fire. I know that everyone listening to this is going to be both motivated and comforted by the fact that, someone like yourself, who, despite everything that goes on in our world, politically speaking, right, that we all are valuable, that we are all important, and that we are all capable of so much. And that a big part of that is working together, and so that we can rise together. So together we rise, right? So yay, yay, yay. You are amazing. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you as well. You are amazing as well. And I look forward to all the awesome stuff we will all do together in 2018. Thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Thanks. Bye.